Now, speaking for a moment from the Tibetan point of view, right, or the tantric point of view, it's not enough just to fall in love, to give yourself to family life, to raise children. There is another way of seeing all of that, because as we know, family life, raising children, being responsible for your family can be a tremendous attachment. And every spiritual tradition has warnings about sex, family, relatives, money, houses, and all of those other things as becoming obstacles on the spiritual path. So it's almost as if by claiming that sexuality in some way is a way to get enlightenment is like telling people, go down that road that's just full of potholes and boulders and stray pieces of metal, and you're going to attain enlightenment. You know, but the beauty of the tantric system is that it takes life as it is and sees something sacred, something wise, something liberating in the potholes, and the iron chunks and the boulders and the broken roads and the earthquakes and everything else that occur.
There is an ancient tantric saying that Buddhahood can be found in the vagina of a woman. One of the oldest methods of fully activating the Kundalini and recreating conception within the body is through the practice of sexual yoga. Many couples in China, India, and Tibet have achieved enlightenment together in this manner. The central teaching in Tantric Yoga is that all of life is sacred, especially sexuality. This is because Tantrism views the reproductive energy of our body as being the same inner energy that powers our enlightenment. The practitioner of sexual Tantra attempts to use the energy of conception as an agent for awakening and transcendence. Complete awakening results in a normal person becoming a fully enlightened and realized human being. This enables the individual to transcend birth, death, space, and time. The 6 Yogas of Naropa is a classical collection of techniques from India which will result in Buddhahood or complete enlightenment when fully mastered. Many of these methods were transmitted by Mahasiddhas, who are often couples that achieved enlightenment through the practice of sexual yoga. The famous saying that Buddhahood can be found in the vagina of a woman refers to an ancient tradition of sexual yoga that results in complete awakening. The full potential of activating the original reproductive energy of the human body transforms a normal person into an enlightened immortal. Many of these lineages go back to famous Mahasiddhas like Padmasambhava. Padmasambhava is known to have said that more women than men would achieve tantric enlightenment because of their devotion to practice.
The tantras are sometimes revealed, both the Hindu tantras and the Buddhist tantras, in exactly the terms that you gave, that enlightenment is found inside or abiding within the bhaga, within the womb, within the vagina. To open out to the state of wholeness and completeness, which we can call openness, we can call shunyata, we can call emptiness, we can call voidness. There are many ways of describing it. I like the word openness because it has that quality of the unbounded. So that this vaginal phenomenon is a way of saying that at the same time, this experience is completely open, completely pleasurable, indeed orgasmic, right, and luminous, right? Those are the 3 characteristics of the enlightened state in the Tibetan Tantric system, right? Openness, luminosity, and pleasure. And that is something that we keep coming across in text after text after text. What is experienced is that. A person rediscovers what you were saying as the original face, right? The original primordial embryo of who we are, the very basis of our existence. So that the Tantras also talk about the mother and the son reuniting together. The white drop and the red drop joining together, a symbol, of course, of conception itself. So that the imagery of sexuality is in there because that's part of it, and that's, you know, a key to a lot of human experience. But there's sexuality going on in every cell of your body right now. The light of the sun being in your heart through meditation, and then spontaneously forming a conflagration in every single cell of your body, right? That is the kind of thing that we're talking about, right? So that the joining of the two sides of the double helix of DNA inside the nucleus of every cell is living that sexual bliss in every moment as it produces the proteins that keep you alive. If you're a Buddha, you see every particle of time and matter and energy continually generating, as it were, in a sexual, reproductive way, all the phenomena of existence at all times. You're living a blissful, highly energetic kind of life.
From a Tibetan perspective, the difference between Buddhas and ordinary individuals is merely a question of diligent practice.
Tibetan teachers have spoken with some reluctance about sexual yoga. In every case that I have personally encountered, it has always been about something to do with families, and really elite families, preserving very special traditions within that family, within the customs and the beliefs of that family.
Many traditions believe that if the energy meridians of the body are fully opened, the individual will inevitably achieve complete realization. The Kundalini experience activates the starting point of the body and results in the ultimate realization of a person's potential. This is a discovery in which the entire universe is found to exist within the mind. One of the most famous sayings in Tibet is, "There can be no Mahamudra, which is enlightenment, without Karma Mudra, sexual yoga." Although the majority of Buddhist monks are celibate, the tradition of the Mahasiddhas believed that the Buddha may have achieved enlightenment through the practice of sexual yoga because Mahamudra, which is complete enlightenment, can only be achieved through Karma Mudra, which is sexual yoga.
In other words, the apparent peace and almost stasis of a Buddha image does not really adequately reflect the dance of phenomena that is truly at the heart of enlightenment.
The complete potential of fully harnessing and activating the original reproductive or sexual energy of the body is one in which the human being transforms into a Buddha or an immortal. The ability to activate the Kundalini with sex requires strict adherence to precise techniques combined with specialized breathing methods. The reason that Western couples are not achieving enlightenment through the practice of sexual yoga is that they are not aware of the authentic methods, and they haven't activated the pre-birth energy. The energy of the body between the time of conception and birth within everyone is enlightened and is connected to the void or the Tao. The goal of inner alchemical practices that use sexual yoga is to recreate conception by uniting the yin and yang subtle bodies. Tantric Buddhahood transforms a normal human being into an enlightened immortal. Ancient Chinese medicine also used the transformation of the reproductive energy of the body to enable an adept to achieve immortality through successful inner alchemical practice that used the complete activation of the starting point of the body. This tradition goes back to the time of the Yellow Emperor, who is said to have created the Chinese medical tradition. In Tibet, the union of the Trikaya, or three bodies, using sexual yoga is known to result in tantric enlightenment. These systems are based on the concept that the pre-birth energy of the body, the energy system that is created between the time of conception and birth, is enlightened and is connected to the void or Tao. This energy lies dormant in a normal person. In many yogic systems, the final process that transforms a human being into an immortal or living Buddha is a sexual yoga practice that results in full Kundalini activation. The goal of all these traditions is to create the spiritual embryo, or embryo of Buddhahood.
Well, of course, I'm talking in some ways as a Christian, and for a Christian, love is everything. God is love. So if people are experiencing a loving relationship through sexuality, all right, they're going to be changed by that, and they're going to attain enlightenment. If you study with someone like Namkhai Norbu, for example, he'll make a very clear distinction between tantric methods of attainment and Dzogchen methods, all right? He'll even distinguish Dzogchen, which sometimes sounds like Zen to some of us. He'll distinguish it from Zen, so he'll notice these things. How? Because he's been through this stuff. You see, he knows it from his own inner experience. So he can make those distinctions very clearly, all right? Those of us who are not yet as highly realized as Namkhai Norbu are walking on thin ice if we try to make too many distinctions without rooting it in our own inner experience.